How are you today? So today we'll start. So if I'm audible to you all, please comment. Am I audible to you all? If yes, then please comment fast. Okay, so let the people join, then we'll start. Good morning Nagabhushan, good morning Divya. I am audible to you all, right? Okay. So more little bit more people, then we'll start. Okay, so yesterday I given homework in module, right? So how many people have tried solving it? Tell me. Okay, so we'll start now. Till 17, any doubt? Till 17. Till 17, any doubt? Okay, question number 2 is doubt. So question number 2 says that number of sp3, sp2 and sp2 bonds in propylene are given. So question number 2, propylene. Question number 2 is propylene. Okay. Now the way you can write ethylene. Ethylene is CH2 double bond CH2. The same way propylene is CH3 CH double bond CH2. Okay, that is propylene. Now they are asking you what are the carbons, right? So this is sp3 carbon. This is sp2 carbon. This is sp2 carbon. But then these hydrogen is in s and s orbitals. So S and sp3. How many are S and sp3? So these are 3. So S and sp3 are 3. And then S and sp2. S and sp2. So S and sp2 are, 1 is here, 2 is there, so total 3. And then sp2 sp2. sp2 and sp2 carbon are 1, not 1. Yes, number of bonds, so 1 only. So this is 1 bond. Done. This is question number 2. Then the question number 4. Which alkene shows geometrical isomerism? This rule I gave you in the last class also. Question number 4. Which alkene will show geometrical isomerism? You need to what? You need to draw double bond, and these groups must be different. These group must be different. So if you look at the first option, CAB AE. So here I can write A, B, A, E, satisfying the condition. Yes, it will show geometrical isomerism. Then AB, another case, A, B not equals. There also A, B not equals. That is second case. Third case is AB and BD. Here third case A, B not equals to, B, D not equals to. So all 3 will show. So if all 3 will show, you will get all 3 will show geometrical isomerism. Understand? Okay, so that's question number 4. And till 17 any doubt? Till 17 any doubt? Tell me, till 17 any doubt? Question number 7. Which alcohol can be turned most easily to alkene? So that goes as question number 7. There is a reaction used which is called dehydration of alcohols. This reaction is used as dehydration of alcohol. Now when I am doing dehydration of alcohol, what happens is this. When we take such as CH3, CH2, OH, and this happens in acidic catalyzed medium. So with concentrated H2SO4, so what happens is in the middle, this H plus attacks there, becomes H2O. Then I'll get a formation of carbocation. This is carbocation. So stable carbocation reacts easily, and carbocation order goes like tertiary greater than secondary greater than primary greater than CH3 plus. Then here we get CH2 double bond CH2. That's how we form alkene. So we should have tertiary alcohol, then secondary alcohol, then primary alcohol, then methyl or methanol. So that is question number 7. Till 7 we are done. Okay, 17, that's all. Till 17 you got only these many doubts only, right? Question number 9 also. Okay, question number 9. Alkanes and alkenes can both. Alkanes and alkenes can both be obtained by Kolbe electrolysis, because I teach this method in both the chapter. Alright, that is very easy answer. Kolbe electrolysis. What else? What else your doubt? Okay, 17 done, till 17 done. So we'll go to till 31. Till 31, tell fast. Question number 13. Ozonolysis of 2-methyl-butene. Last class I taught now this question. So this question is now question number 13. 2-methyl-butene. So first we need to draw the structure. So 4 carbon at second carbon double bond and at second position CH3 also. So CH3, this is done, CH and CH3. So now when you do ozonolysis of this, how do we write product? Tell me all people. How do I write product for this reaction? What I have to do to write this product? All people, please comment fast. How do I write the product for this? What is the concept? What is the logic? How do I write the product? Tell me. Tell me, how do I write product? What I have to do to write product? I have taught last class, I have taught. Do we know? We don't know. Are you people writing or not? Adding O to either side of the double bond, right? So we'll break a double bond. We'll put oxygen, oxygen. Then I am going to write a structure. So CH3, C double bond O, CH3 plus CH3, C double bond O, H. What is the name of this? Acetone. What is the name of this? Acetaldehyde. So question number 13 also done. It will form both acetaldehyde, one is aldehyde, one is ketone. Question number 11 also. Propene when heated with chlorine at about 500 degrees Celsius gives. So question number 11. Propene. CH3, CH double bond CH2 plus Cl2. Now, if you remember, I have taught you this Cl2 will do anti-addition, one carbon here, one carbon there. That way I have taught you, right? That is when you do not heat it. That is when you do not heat this. But when you heat this 500 degrees Celsius, then this Cl2 does not react with this double bond. It reacts and replaces one of the alpha hydrogen. Then what do I get? I get CH2, Cl, CH double bond, CH2 plus HCl. Done? So this is till, this we have reached till 31. So till 44, any doubt? Till 44, any doubt? Till 44, any doubt? Till 44, any doubt? Question number 33. 33. The reaction of ethene with oxygen in the presence of silver catalyst gives ethylene oxide. So this is a reaction to formation of ether. So ethene is CH2 double bond CH2 plus O2. We take half O2 in the presence of silver. Then what we get? We get a compound called CH2, CH2O. Or we can draw like this also. This is called ethylene oxide. This is called cyclic ether also. 33, after 33 we have question number 41. Question number 41 is ethylene possess. That is easy. This is question number 41. Ethylene possess. So ethylene is CH2 double bond CH2. So 2 sigma, 4 sigma, 1 sigma. So 5 sigma and 1 pi. 5 sigma and 1 pi. Then 41. Then question number 40 also. Question number 40 also. Question 40 is the negative part of the added molecule goes to that carbon of unsymmetrical unsaturated hydrocarbon which contain least number of hydrogen atom. This statement is Markovnikov's rule. What is your doubt? In question number 40. That is called Markovnikov's rule. Guru, you are not revising theory, you are not memorizing theory. If you are memorizing theory, this question will be able to solve easily. Then question number 34 also. 3, 3 dimethyl 1 butene addition with dilute sulfuric acid gives. Okay. So this question will solve. So we have now question number here 34. So 3, 3 dimethyl 1 butene. So 1, 2, 3, 4. CH3, CH3, CH2, CH, CH3. Now concentrated H2SO4 and with dilute, not concentrated, we are having dilute. Okay, in this case what happens? It is going to form an alcohol. It is going to form an alcohol, but that alcohol forms by rearrangement of carbocation. What happens is this shifts here, minus, plus, then it will become a secondary carbocation, but you can shift it and make it as tertiary carbocation. So we will get CH3, 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 CH3OH. Okay. Till 60, any doubt? Till 60, any doubt? Till 60, any doubt? Tell me, till 60, any doubt? Question number 47. Which reagent is effective in producing 1-bromopropane from propene? 1-bromo anti-Markovnikov's rule. Anti-Markovnikov's rule. So you can add HBr with peroxide. You can add HBr with peroxide. So the second option, 47 done. 44 question. 44 question is what? Question number 44. Ethylene when treated with alkaline KMnO4 it forms glycol. This is an exception. This is question number 44. Ethylene CH2 double bond CH2. Ethylene when treated with, last class also I told you, not exception, this is not exception. It forms dialcohols. So this bond will form CH2, CH2, OH, OH. This is called ethylene glycol. Ethylene glycol. So after 44, question number 38 also. 1-butene on heating with aluminum chloride at high temperature isomerizes. So when isomerization reaction takes place, a normal chain will break into branched chain compounds. A normal chain will break into branched chain compounds. So question number 38. 1-butene is CH2 double bond CH, CH2, CH3 with AlCl3 at a temperature of 200 to 300 degrees Celsius. This is going to break in a branch form. CH2, CH, CH3. This is known as isobutylene. Okay, till 70 any doubt? Till 70 any doubt? Question number 48. Which alkane gives same product with both Markovnikov's rule and anti-Markovnikov's rule? Did you try? Did you draw all options? This is question number 48. Alpha butylene is CH2 double bond CH, CH2, CH3. This is called alpha butylene. If you apply Markovnikov's rule, attack will happen here. If you apply anti-Markovnikov's rule, attack will happen here. So different products. Then propylene, CH2 double bond CH, CH3. Markovnikov's rule, Markovnikov's rule here, anti-Markovnikov's rule there. Then option C, alpha amylene. So that becomes now 5 carbon. CH2 double bond CH, CH2, CH2, CH3. AMR, AMR, AMR here, AMR there. And the last one is beta butylene. Beta means second carbon double bond. CH3, CH double bond CH, CH3. AMR, AMR. Now both the hydrogens are same. So Markovnikov's rule says less number of hydrogen. You cannot figure it out. So any place, if any place, both places are same. So it will give the single product. Okay, till 70 all done now. We don't have any other doubts, right? We are finished with doubts. If yes, please comment. If no, please comment. Are we done with the doubts or you have more doubts? No doubts, sir. Okay. So now we have next chapter. So the next chapter is alkyne. Next chapter is alkyne. So its formula is Ca, general formula is CnH2n minus 2. They are sp hybridized. Their bond angle is 180 degree. They are also linear. They are also linear. They are also linear. Okay, so directly we will go to methods of preparation. And most of the reaction we have already done, so we are not going to do them again and again. Okay. So now methods of preparation. First is from halides, and in halides from geminal dihalide. From geminal dihalide. So reaction goes RCH, not CH. Okay, RCH2 X and H. We take a reaction called alcoholic KOH. Alcoholic KOH. I've taught you this reaction with one halogen. We have formed an alkene. We did E1 and E2 mechanism, if you remember. E1 and E2 mechanism. So now one X and then one H. These will go. Then I'll have R, CH, double bond, CH, X. But this is not an alkyne. So what you need? You need one more base. But this base is a stronger base than this. In these two, this is much stronger base. So we require much stronger base. NaNH2. Then one more X will go and hydrogen will go. Then you will have R, C triple bond, CH. It is an alkyne. Copy this fast. Copied. Copied or not? Right, so next one is from tetrahalide. Next one is from tetrahalide. So tetrahalide is RCX, X, X, X and H. This happens with zinc dust at a temperature of 200 degrees Celsius. Now what happens? One of the product is ZnX2. So what happens? 2 zinc you require. Okay, plus. So I'm going to cut from here, cut from there, cut from here, cut from there. So 2 valencies created on each carbon, join them, and alkyne is formed. That copied in this side. Okay, now what happens in this case is I'm going to form alkynes from alkynes. That means what? I'm going to convert a low membered to high membered. Understand means alkyne which has less number of carbon to alkyne which has certain copy. Copy fast, Nikhil. Copy it now, Nikhil. Okay, go sign up. So now what happens is a low membered alkyne to high membered alkyne. So we are going to take an alkyne, okay. But here there is one point. You can take only those alkyne which has terminal hydrogen. Which has terminal hydrogen, they are also known as active alkyne. Also known as terminal alkyne. So this reaction only proceed if you have active alkyne or terminal alkyne. So this is an active alkyne because there is hydrogen present at the last. We take with sodium in the presence of liquid ammonia, liquid NH3. What it does, it evolves hydrogen gas, half H2, and then I get RC triple bond CNA. Na is a metal, it gets negative charge. RC triple bond CNA. Then I take RC triple bond C minus Na plus with a RX. Now if you have RX, X is halogen, halogen is electronegative, so you will get negative here plus here. Negative will attract plus and positive will attract negative. So what you have is R, C triple bond C, R plus NaX. Now if you compare, this is an alkyne, this is also an alkyne. But what is the difference? The difference here is that it has got R plus 2 carbon. It has got R plus 2 plus R carbon. So this is called more number of carbon atom in alkyne. Done. The same thing we can do with Grignard reagent also. Same thing we can do with Grignard reagent also. How do we do with Grignard reagent? So I'll teach it here. Okay. So this is same. Now what we take? R C triple bond CH plus R MgX. Okay. So that I already told you, R minus plus, this is plus minus. So minus is going to attract Mg plus, R C triple bond C MgX plus RH. So there is a formation of alkane, one of the product, one of the byproduct. Then we have next RC triple bond C MgX plus RX X. So now when you take RX X plus minus plus minus, this attracts that, this attracts that. So we get RC triple bond CR plus MgX2, an alkyne. Done. All people copied. All people copied. Okay, then after this, and the last one is known as, this is I think fifth one, Kolbe electrolysis. If you remember Kolbe electrolysis, I taught you 2 times. This is the 3rd time I am teaching. Okay, it means from Kolbe electrolysis I can make alkane, alkene and alkyne, right? Yes. So now, what is the difference in here? If the process name is same, reactant is not same. Understood? Now here, I want to form alkyne. To form alkyne, it should have already double bond. It should have already double bond, something like this. CH double bond, CHCO minus, C double bond O minus. This is called as succinic acid. Okay. So now, this is at anode. At anode. So this will going to lose 2 electron. Then what I get is CH double bond CH, C double bond O dot, C double bond O dot, which will release 2 moles of CO2 plus CH free radical double bond CH free radical. These 2 combine together to give you CH triple bond CH. What is the name of this compound? Acetylene. That is known as acetylene. Done? Then the last one is laboratory preparation. Laboratory preparation. So one of the preparation is CaC2 plus H2O gives rise to, this is called calcium carbide plus water. It will form one of the components CH2, C2H2 plus CaOH whole twice. If you calculate, you will write 2 here. This is from calcium carbide. So calcium carbide produce acetylene gas, whereas aluminium carbide produce methane gas. One more is there, that is chloroform, CHCl3 plus 6Ag plus Cl3CH. This is a very odd reaction. The answer of this reaction you cannot guess in the exam. So try to memorize this reaction as it is a very odd reaction. So one of the product is known as 6AgCl plus HC triple bond CH. These are known as laboratory preparation of alkyne. Done? Copied all people copied. Okay, so this side. Now we have next heading of chemical reaction. We have first heading as chemical reaction. So now what happens is, as we know, alkyne has how many pi bonds? Tell me. What should I fill here? So I will be filling 2. Alkene has pi bond. So 1. Now with this observation, I can say that alkyne has double the number of pi bonds than alkene. Alkyne has double the number of pi bonds than alkene. It means whatever reaction I was doing for alkene, because of pi bond only, all those reactions are also applicable to alkyne. But how many times? 2 times. For alkene I was doing them single times, but for alkyne I'll do them 2 times. Understand? All reactions are same. Easiest example I'll give. Will not do all of them. Simply one example I'll give. One of them is, let's say, hydrohalogenation was reaction. Remember this reaction? Heading was addition of HX, right? So addition of HX. So if I take an alkene RC triple bond CH plus HX. Now what that is? It is alkyne, so I am going to take 2 moles of it, because I need to do it 2 times. I need to do it 2 times. So when I take 2 times, I will follow Markovnikov's rule, because there is no peroxide and there is no more Br. So Markovnikov's rule, X minus attacks to a carbon which has less number of hydrogen. So this has less number of hydrogen. So the answer will be RCX double bond CH3. Correct? Correct? Right? Okay, so what I can do now? This is an alkyne. This is an alkyl halide. My question to you here is RCXXCH3. This side, both sides. What I should write here? What I should write here? Tell me. If you tell the correct answer, I'll give you one news. If you tell me correct answer. Vineet, you missed one point. You missed one point. What is the point? The point here is we take alcoholic KOH and NaNH2 followed by NaNH2 followed by. Simply alcoholic KOH is not sufficient because it will stop at alkene. You want to make it alkyne, so you need NaNH2. And this is the correct answer, that we need HX 2 moles of it. Done. Okay, so the news is I have a YouTube channel with the name of Chemistry Saurabh Ban. If you would like to watch these videos, you can go to YouTube and watch these videos there also. I will upload them. Okay. So that was the news. Now we'll proceed to the next question. The next question we'll have is this. So next heading is called hydration. Okay, so hydration will have RC triple bond CH plus 2 moles of water with H plus. Tell me, what is the answer? Are you people solving? What is the answer? Yes, that is correct answer beneath. So what happens is, this is acid catalyzed hydration, right? Remember, in the last class I told you 3 types of hydration: acid catalyzed hydration, oxymercuration, demercuration, and hydroboration, oxidation. Okay, in these 3 cases, this is the first one where we do Markovnikov rule with rearrangement. But I do 2 times because it is an alkyne. So what we do is RCOH CH2. One more pi bond I'll break, so I'll keep OH and CH3. Now there is one rule which you need to understand, that at 1 carbon 2 OH, at 1 carbon 2 OH are unstable. At 1 carbon 2 OH are unstable. So if they are unstable, they do what? They release water molecules. So out of these 2 you find water molecules. OH is here, and one more what you need? H. If you do this, H2O is gone. but then a valency is created for oxygen and carbon that will join together and have ketone RCOCH3. Understand? Copied? So you can subscribe that channel also, so that whenever you have video you can watch, you can revise them these questions again. Okay, that done now. So we have just said one more thing. Okay, so the next one is test of alkyne or test of terminal alkyne. More importantly, test of terminal alkyne. What happens in this case is terminal alkyne means what? There should be a triple bond and then there is a hydrogen. This is the condition it should have. I want to test these. Why I want to test these is because in these cases, there is an alkyne and this is a hydrogen. Whenever you have terminal alkyne, those alkynes can behave as acid. They can behave as acid. So because they can behave as acid, that's why they are important. Okay, so how do I treat them? How do I find out that this alkyne is terminal alkyne? By looking at, because all are gases. Till 5 carbon, these all are gases. So by looking at the gas, you can't tell whether it's a terminal alkyne or not. Okay, so what we do, we call it the Tollens reagent test. Next heading is called Tollens reagent test. Okay, Tollens reagent test. Now what happens is, I'm going to take a terminal alkyne RC triple bond CH plus. Tollens reagent is called as ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution. Ammonical silver nitrate solution means ammonical is NH4OH. Silver nitrate is AgNO3. AgNO3. So in this case, when you take this, the reacting species is Ag plus. The reacting species is Ag plus. So what happens in this case? Ag plus, if I take, I get RC triple bond C. This will break into H plus and it will become C minus. C minus will attract Ag plus, so you will have a bond between this minus, plus and H plus. As soon as this is formed, this gets precipitated. This gets precipitated, and which precipitate? It will be a white precipitate. Okay, so copy this. What is it outside? Can you tell the channel name again? Okay, channel name is Chemistry Saurabh. Copied. Done. Okay, so the next thing we'll do is, okay, so now we'll do some aromatization reaction. Okay, the next heading is aromatization reaction. Aromatization reaction. Okay, so this side. Aromatization reaction. This is very easy reactions. If you take acetylene, okay, on taking acetylene, acetylene is C2H2, but you will take 3 moles of it, okay, in the presence of red hot copper or iron, it will convert. If you look at this, C6 and H6. So you will get a C6H6. C6H6 is benzene. So like this I can form benzene. But if you take, instead of acetylene, if you take propylene, propylene is CH3 double single bond, C triple bond, CH. Here also you will take 3. You will take red, hot, copper or iron. What you will get here is this compound. This is a benzene, but this is a tri-substituted benzene. This is tri-substituted benzene. Its name is known as macetylene. Its name is known as macetylene. Sir, is your name Saurabh? Yes, Nidhi, my name is Saurabh Bhan. I think I told this in the first class of mine. My name is Saurabh Bhan. Saurabh space BHR. Okay, done? Done, right? Okay, one more reaction we'll see on this side. Okay, that is a reaction to form Westron and Westrosol. This is a very important reaction because it is used to form a solvent. Used to form a solvent. Okay, Westron and Westrosol. So what happens is we take CH triple bond CH plus 2Cl2. Okay, write me the product here. What is the product here? Form. Write the product. That is very easy. I have added Cl2 and I have added 2 times Cl2. What is the answer there? So we'll get this Cl2, 1 Cl anti addition, 1 Cl from here, 1 Cl from there, then one more Cl from here, one more Cl from here. So we'll get CH, Cl, Cl, CH, Cl, Cl. This is known as Westron. This is known as Westron. This is known as Westron. Okay. Once you know Westron, what I can do is I can take this compound and react with CaOH whole twice, or even with alcoholic KOH. Even with alcoholic KOH. Even with alcoholic KOH. So it will do anti-elimination. One Cl will be gone and one hydrogen will be gone. What you get is Cl, Cl, double bond, CH, Cl. This is known as Westrosol. This is a solvent. This is a solvent. Done? Done, beta? Yes or no? Any doubt? Any doubt, beta? Anyone? Any doubt? Tell me fast. So what is Vestrol used for? Vestrol is used to dissolve ether in organic compounds. This is used to dissolve solvent. This is used to dissolve compounds which I require in some reactions. Okay. Done now? Okay, so next, by this your alkyne chapter is also over. So your homework is this. Module 2. Module 2. In that module 2, alkyne is present. Alkyne questions are present at page number 73. Alkyne questions are presented page number 73 and there are 70 questions okay, and there are 70 questions. Done. Now we will start another chapter. That is your homework. Try to do them. The more sooner you will do, the more easier you will get marks in the exam. Okay, so the next, in the beginning we were talking about hydrocarbon, right? So how many types of hydrocarbon I gave? Tell me. How many types of hydrocarbon I have given before? Then only we will proceed. What are those four? What are those four? What were those four hydrocarbon? Alkane, alkene, alkyne and aromatic hydrogen. Yes, Dullah Khan. What is aromatic hydrogen means? Aromatic hydrocarbon, alkene. You can't memorize in a proper order also, Dullah. We can memorize in proper order or not? Alkane, alkene, alkyne and aromatic hydrocarbon. Aromatic hydrocarbon. Okay. Now before hydrocarbon I have already explained. Hydrocarbon, hydrogen and carbon, but there is one word called aromatic. So now first I will explain you what is aromatic. So there is called next heading is aromaticity. First heading is aromaticity. If you understand what is aromaticity, what is aromatic, then you can understand what is aromatic hydrocarbon also. Okay. So next point is aromatic hydrocarbon. In aromatic hydrocarbon, those compounds compounds follows Huckel's rule. These compound follows Huckel's rule. So we should know Huckel's rule also. We should know Huckel's rule. So what is Huckel's rule? Next heading is Huckel's rule. Okay. In that, first point here is the compound must be cyclic. So all those compounds which are not cyclic are not aromatic. This is an easy job. The compound must be cyclic. This is a condition wise. Okay. If the first condition satisfied, then only will go to second condition. If first condition is also not satisfied, will not go to second condition. Okay. So the compound must be cyclic. Second, the compound must be planar. The compound must be planar. If the compound is planar, it has got some rules. What are the rules? Means hybridization should be either sp or sp2. Hybridization should be either sp or sp2. sp is linear, sp2 is trigonal planar. You can't have sp3 because sp3 if you have, then it will become a tetrahedron. But if you have lone pair, then it can bring here also. Okay. So compound must be planar. The third point here is complete delocalization. Complete delocalization of pi electron cloud must take place on complete cycle or ring. This is third condition. What is third condition? Third condition is the complete delocalization of pi electron cloud must take place. Now pi delocalization word means what? Delocalization word means resonance. Delocalization word means what? Resonance. So resonance must be happening, but it must be happening of all atoms in the ring. Understand? This is third point. Then fourth point downside. Fourth point. Okay. If number of pi electron is equals to 4n plus 2. This is important. If the number of pi electron is 4n plus 2, where n is 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on, the compound is aromatic. The compound is aromatic. Done. Then next point here, fifth point. Okay. In case of fifth point, if number of pi electron equals to 4n, if number of pi electron equals to 4n, where n equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on, then compound is anti-aromatic. The compound is anti-aromatic. And then the next one is sixth. And the next one is sixth. What sixth says is, the sixth says this. 1 minute, let me erase this. Okay, sixth says this, that compound is neither aromatic nor anti-aromatic, then it is non-aromatic. Then it is non-aromatic. Then it is non-aromatic. And then stability order. This is the important. Stability order goes like this. Aromatic, maximum stable. Then non-aromatic. Then anti-aromatic. Okay? So, zoom wise. So, copy this and read it again. If you have doubts, you ask me which line you have doubt. Any doubt, beta? Anyone? This is only theory, I'll explain in problems, okay? Understood? Can I erase it now? Copied all? This is the important concept. Okay. Now the most easiest compound you must be memorizing till now is this one. Right? This is the compound, you have memorized it, you have understood that this is aromatic. This is the minimum possible aromatic compound you must have memorized. Now I will explain you how it satisfies all of my rules. Okay. First rule what? What is the difference between anti-aromatic and non-aromatic? I'll explain it. Okay. So now what happens is, the first rule was it must be cyclic. So you see it is cyclic. It is cyclic. Okay. Then second rule was it must be planar. Right. So I gave you planarity, I gave you hybridization also. You try to find hybridization. This carbon has got hydrogen, 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 hydrogen and hydrogen. So if you find the hybridization, it has got 1 sigma, 2 sigma, 3 sigma. So 3 sigma, 1 pi, pi we don't count. 3 sigma, 3 sigma, 3 sigma, 3 sigma. So they all are having sp2 hybridization. They all are having sp2 hybridization. It means all are having trigonal planar. It means trigonal planar, trigonal planar, trigonal planar. So whole molecule is planar. Then third condition. Third condition is complete delocalization must happen. Now when I am talking about delocalization means, and very simple word, you can memorize that complete complete resonance must take place. Complete resonance must take place. It means you should know something about resonance also. So I'll give you condition. If they satisfy this condition, there is resonance. Okay. Condition goes like this: double bond plus single bond plus double bond. This is your first condition. Okay. First condition. Second is double bond plus single. Plus is not there. Plus is atom. Double bond, single bond, double bond. You see like this. Double bond. This plus means this atom. So we don't need plus. Double bond, single bond, double bond. Satisfying first condition. Okay. Then double bond, single bond, positive charge. Double bond, single bond, vacant orbital. Double bond, single bond, negative charge. Double bond, single bond, lone pair. Double bond, single bond, free radical. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Double bond, single bond are same, right? So I'll tell you what are these are written. This is double. This is what? Positive charge. This is what? Vacant orbital. This is what? Negative charge. This is what? Lone pair. This is what? Free radical. So these are the cases. They have resonance. They have resonance. Now we will come to our example. This is theory, okay? This is theory. You should know this theory. Then you see, I'll start from here. This is important. This is important, okay? So now, see, I'm zooming here once. Zoom here. Okay, so now I'll start from here, okay? Double bond, single bond, double bond. Now I have come here, right? Then I have come here, then double bond, single bond, double bond. Then I have come here, double bond, single bond, double bond. So I have come to my original place. I have come to my original place. Listen up again. Double bond, single bond, double bond. Double bond, single bond, double bond. Double bond, single bond, double bond. I have come to my own place. This is called complete delocalization. Zoom out now. This is called complete delocalization. Because I am able to move complete on a ring. This is the third step. So complete delocalization of pi electron. This pi electron will move. Okay. Once they are going to move, now what happens is, this is third condition. Once third condition satisfied, we have got fourth condition, right? Fourth condition says that if the number of pi electron is 4n plus 2, so we are going to find first number of pi electron. So each pi contains 2 electron. And you have to count only those pi bonds which are involved in resonance. So 1 pi bond, 2 pi bond and 3 pi bond. So Sam, this side. So number of pi bond I am getting how many? Pi electron. I am getting 6 pi electron. Okay. I am getting 6 pi electron. 2, 2, 2, which is equals to 4n plus 2. I will solve for n. So 6 minus 2 equals to 4n. 4 equals to 4n. N equals to 1. And here n was how much? 0. It could be 0, 1, 2, 3. So it is satisfying one condition. If it is satisfying this condition, this compound is aromatic. So each time we will not solve this, okay? What we will memorize is, we will put n equals to 0. If you put n equals to 0, it will become 2. So if 2 pi electron are there, it will be aromatic. If you put 1, it will become 6 pi electron. If you keep 10, 4 2s are 8 plus 2, 10 pi electron. And if you keep 3, 3 4s are 12, 12 plus 2, 14 pi electron. Okay. And if I would have compared this with 4 and pi electron, then I will not get any value of integer value. I will get 3 by 2. which is 1.5. So it is not satisfying in anti-aromatic. So this is not anti-aromatic because the compound was aromatic. Compound will be either one, either aromatic, anti-aromatic or non-aromatic. It can't have that though. It cannot have two type of compound. It will be either one of them. So not anti-aromatic. Now to memorize this for anti-aromatic, what we memorize is for anti-aromatic. So if you keep N as 1, because it doesn't start with 0, it starts with 1. So you should have 4 pi electron. If you keep 2, you should have 8 pi electron. If you keep 3, you should have 12 pi electron. If you keep 4, you should have 16 pi electron. Understood? Then, if the compound is neither comes here nor comes here, it is nor anti-aromatic. It is nor anti-aromatic. It is nor anti. Sorry, it is. This is correct. If the compound doesn't become aromatic ring or it doesn't become anti-aromatic, then the compound is non-aromatic. Understood now? Now. So if you look at values wise here, it is table of 2. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 and alternative. If you remember, 2 is aromatic. That's all. 2 is aromatic, 4 is anti-aromatic, 6 is aromatic, 8 is anti-aromatic. If I said anti-aromatic, anti-aromatic, aromatic. Understood now? So that's how we find out. Now, done? So that's how we find out. So benzene becomes an aromatic compound. Now, people who have asked me some doubts in the middle, what is the difference between anti-aromatic and non-aromatic? What happens is, aromatic compounds, why we call them aromatic is because they are going to have their own aroma. Aromatic, one word is there, aroma. Aroma is a smell, okay? So all aromatic compounds have their own smell or their own aroma. So whenever you buy a perfume or detergent or deodorant or any compound which have its own smell, so there are high chances that there are two types of compound. One is called aromatic, one is called ester. In soap or detergent we have ester. In perfume, deodorant we have aromatic compounds. So when you go and backside and look which compounds are there, what are the materials present in them, then you will find one of the ester, one of the aromatic. So aromatic compounds are very widely used because of their own aroma. And secondly, they are very, very stable. Anti-aromatic compounds are not stable, they are unstable. As they are unstable, so if you have an anti-aromatic compound, it will break. It will break very easily. So that's why anti-aromatic compounds is important, because if you are able to notice an anti-aromatic compound, it is going to break faster. Okay. And non-aromatic compounds are open chain compounds that don't have their own different aroma or smell. Basically, most of the compounds are non-aromatic in nature. Understand? Done? Your doubts clear? Cleared your doubts? Any doubts now? Okay, so now we'll solve some problems. We have aromatic compounds lesser than 6 carbon also, but they are not neutral compounds. Okay, so the first compound was like this. Tell me, which is aromatic, which is anti-aromatic, which is non-aromatic? First one is non-aromatic, second one is anti-aromatic, third one is aromatic. Is correct. Will your answers are correct? Okay. So why? This is sp2. This is sp2, but that is sp3. That is sp3. So as soon as sp3 comes, it becomes a non-planar. So this compound is non-aromatic. This compound is non-aromatic. sp2, sp2, sp2. Then all three are planar now. Then you will do double bond, single bond, negative charge, single bond, double bond. Complete delocalization. How many electron? 2 here, 2 there. So 4 pi electron. 4 pi electron. Once you have 4 pi electron, 2 is aromatic, 4 is anti-aromatic. Right? Then I go there and I find it there. Double bond, single bond, positive charge, single bond, double bond. I come to my original place. All are cyclic because sp2, sp2 and sp2. Done? Then. So total how many? 2 here. And positive charge means does not have any electrons. So total electrons are 2 pi electrons. So this 2 is aromatic. So the compound here is aromatic. But it is not a compound. It is an ion because it has got positive charge. That's why I have aromatic compound which has less than 6 carbon. But that is not a compound. It's an ion. It's a cation. Understood? That's why we don't memorize this. So if I want to arrange them in stability order, so we'll be able to write that compound first, followed by this compound, followed by, understood? All people, same answer we are getting, right? Non-anti-aromatic, right? Non-anti-aromatic. Yes, 3-4 people have given the correct answer. Remaining people are not even trying. Those people who are simply watching. What will you do after watching all this? Huh? If you don't want to solve and if you will not solve, then there is a very less chances that you get marks in the exam. So you have to try. Done? So try this question also. Now I am going to draw some compounds. You tell me whether which one is anti-aromatic. Okay? Solve all, then write in comment. Okay, so I'll give one more. I'll get 910. One time and full day. First one is non-aromatic. So we also little bit we will also write the answer. Okay. So this is sp3. Because of sp3 it becomes non-aromatic. Na stands for non-aromatic. Done. Second question. Second question is also non-aromatic. Second question is also non-aromatic. Reason here is this carbon sp3. Third one. If I look for third one, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, negative charge, single bond, double bond. Complete delocalization. Complete delocalization. So, and planar also, everything planar and complete delocalization, cyclic, planar, complete delocalization, the number of pi electron cloud. 2 plus 4 plus 2, 6. 6 pi electron, and the answer is aromatic. Third one is aromatic. Third one is aromatic. Third one is aromatic. Understand? So Vineet has given the way I wanted answers to be written. Non-aromatic. Fourth we'll see now. Fourth, double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, complete delocalization, cyclic, planar. But how many? Total 4 pi electron. 4 pi electron is what? Anti-aromatic. Right? Double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, negative, single bond, double bond. Complete delocalization. When you have complete delocalization, then count 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 pi electron, anti-aromatic. So fifth is also anti-aromatic. Then sixth, same thing, all same. But here how many? 6 pi electron. So it becomes aromatic. Now we do it here. In this type of question, this double bond shifts there. Minus, plus. Minus, plus. So double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, positive charge, single bond, double bond. So complete aromatic, complete conjugation, total 4 pi electrons. So anti-aromatic. Seventh is Seventh is anti-aromatic. 7 is anti-aromatic. 7 is anti because 2 plus 4, total 4, there is a positive charge. That also does an resonance. Now here, double bond, single bond, negative charge, single bond, double bond, single bond, positive charge. Here also we'll do that. Minus, plus, positive charge, single bond, double bond. So complete resonance. Then how many? 2, 4, 6. So total 6 pi electrons. So aromatic. This compound is known as aniline 8. And this compound is non-aromatic. This is an exception. You have to memorize this as an exception. Double bond, single bond, positive charge, single bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. So, or another way you can draw this structure like this also. Adjacent positive and negative can be written as a double bond. So, 4 electron pi, anti-aromatic. This question and that question are same. Now tell me any doubt in about 10 questions? Any question you want me to explain again, I will be happy to explain to you. Tell me. Do you have any doubt in about 10 problems? Okay, done. So that's how why ninth one is non-aromatic. What happens is, as you have more than 3 double bond, when you do sp2 hybridization, this bond, right now around this bond you can rotate this whole structure because there is one hydrogen. So when you keep a double bond here, this bond comes outside here. Actually it should be in the plane, but because to decrease steric hindrance, this double bond will come up here. Then what happens is, double bond is here, one double bond, but now double bond is here. So the double bond are not in plane. This is and this will do resonance. This and this double bond will do resonance. This double bond cannot do resonance because they are not in same plane. And that's why it is called an exception. So you can memorize this also. Aniline 8 is non-aromatic. Because this is non-planar. It is cyclic. Complete delocalization is not happening because the molecule is non-planar. Understood now? Ninth one also. Any other doubt? Done? Are we done? Are we done with this side? Yes or no? Then we can proceed. Cleared all doubts? Yes or no? Comment fast. Right? All doubts cleared, right? Anyone else has got any doubt in the middle anywhere, somewhere? Okay, so now we'll go to the next side. So we will have Next is called methods of preparation. There are 3-4 reactions are there. Directly we write reaction them, okay, without adding. So what first one is known as, if you heat a sodium salt of benzoic acid in the presence of soda lime, this is soda lime, then what we get? We get a benzene. This reaction I have written there also, plus Na2CO3. This is same reaction. One more reaction we can do with this, with benzene, sulfonic acid and hydrolysis. If you do this, we will get benzene plus H2SO4. One more. This is the important one, okay? This is N2Cl. This is called benzene diazonium salt. This is known as benzene diazonium salt. Benzene diazonium salt. If you react this with CH3CH2OH, what we get is, one of the thing is we get is benzene, another we get N2 gas, and we get HCl, and we get CH3CHO, acetaldehyde. We get acetaldehyde. All three reactions complete. Right, so one more reaction. Phenol. Now we have phenol plus, if you react with zinc dust, we get benzene ring plus ZnO. Benzene ring plus ZnO. All copied? All copied? Okay, so next. Now we have chemical reaction. So the next heading is chemical reaction. Next heading is chemical reaction. And in chemical reaction we have called EAS, that is known as electrophilic aromatic substitution reaction. These are the most important reaction of aromatic hydrocarbon, and there are 4 only. In that there are 4 only. First one is known as halogenation. First one is known as halogenation. First one is known as halogenation. Okay, so halogenation reaction takes place how? It takes place like this. You will have benzene plus Cl2 in the presence of AlCl3. In the presence of AlCl3. So whenever you have this combination, it creates Cl plus and AlCl4 minus. And this is not of your importance. Importance is this. This is an electrophile. This is an electrophile. So electrophilic aromatic substitution. So this electrophile goes to an aromatic compound Right now it is C6H6. So one of the hydrogen it is going to remove, substitute. So Cl is going to replace hydrogen. And when this process happens, what do I get? Cl, and one H is there. This will release another Cl minus and it will become HCl. Then I have chlorobenzene. Then I have chlorobenzene. Then I have got chlorobenzene. Done. So this, instead of Cl2 I can write Br2, F2, I2, anything. Okay. Then after we got halogenation, the second reaction is nitration. Second reaction is nitration. So now I'll write reaction. Benzene plus HNO2 in the presence of dilute H2SO4. Then what happens is, here we get electrophile as NO2 plus. So you need to memorize electrophile only. This reaction, once this reaction is given, this reaction is a nitration reaction. How do I write product? You memorize NO2 is a electrophile. Then take this NO2, put it on benzene ring. NO2. And it will release HNO3. Take HNO3, not HNO2. So OH is there, when H is there, it will release water. Copied? Then third. Third one is known as sulfonation. Third one is known as sulfonation. So benzene plus concentrated H2SO4. The here SO3H electrophile. Here electrophile is SO3H. So we write SO3H plus H2O. This is third one. So I have given electrophile also there. Now here comes the important reaction. Fourth one, which is known as Friedel-Crafts reaction. Friedel-Crafts reaction. In that there is a first one known as Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Friedel-Crafts alkylation. Friedel-Crafts alkylation. So now we write benzene plus. Now it has got something called CH3, or instead of writing CH3 you write RCl in the presence of AlCl3. Then here electrophile is R plus. Now R is made up of carbon. If the R is made up of carbon, so it's a carbocation, then undergoes rearrangement. Undergoes rearrangement if possible. You have to make a stable carbocation. Once you make a stable carbocation, then take that carbocation, put it on benzene ring, and another product is HCl. This is alkylation, right? And the second one is known as acylation. Second one is known as acylation. Second one is known as acylation. Now acylation is what? Benzene. Only one tiny change I'll do. Okay? That tiny change is what? Instead of taking RCl directly, I'll take RCOCl plus AlCl3. The electrophile here is RC double bond O positive charge. This is electrophile. It will attack on benzene ring. Now it does not do rearrangement. You can't do rearrangement here. So the answer will become benzene COR. Depending on R, if it is CH3, so it will become acetophenone. If R is benzene, it will become benzophenone. Understood? Okay. Full board. Done. Copied all. Copied. All people. Any doubt? Anyone? Tell me, do you have any doubt? Sir, byproduct of, yes, we can write. Okay, no doubt. So next homework. One homework I already gave. Alkyne, module 4. Module 4. In that module 4, chapter number benzene. Chapter number is 5. Benzene. Exercise starts from page number 44. Page number 44. It has got question 55. So 2 exercises. Module 4 and module 2. Module 4 and module 2. Okay. Try to solve all the questions. In the next class, we'll discuss all your doubts. Okay. So some around 100 problems you got. 110 problems are there total. Solve them. Okay. Any doubt you can ask me in Telegram or WhatsApp also, or tomorrow next class also I can clear all your doubts. But you solve that module. Okay. Any other doubts? Okay, so we'll continue the next class. Thank you very much all. Okay, thank you all.